Hey everybody, welcome back for our third day and our second recovery week. We are going to go through a little bit of a yoga inspired set today. So all you need is your mat. Again, should be that way the whole week. So we're going to start on our hands and knees, just hinge back into a child's pose. Big toes together, knees nice and wide, reach your arms way out in front. Take a couple deep breaths. Take a second and just scan the body. Check in. What are you feeling? Try to just bring your awareness and your mind and your body to the mat, to here, to now. Don't worry about what else is going on. Come up to your hands and knees and push the chest through the elbows. Tuck your tailbone, flex your glutes, big spread wide fingertips. And then just pull your chin back. You should feel your abs stretch, chest stretch, the shoulder blades pull together, elbows pinch in, the glutes flex. And then push back. Curl your toes under. Hopefully you're barefoot. If not, take a second, take your shoes off real quick. Better to be barefoot in a yoga type session. Get that better connectedness to the ground. Even really anything that you can get through as far as the workout days that we have, depending on how your feet respond and are. Going barefoot, I would highly recommend. If you're not used to being barefoot, just maybe take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, take it one little step at a time. But for today, hopefully you can go barefoot through all the little yoga sequencing we have coming. It'll be really good for your feet, your foundation, and helps build the arches. Your arches are muscles in the feet that really are built to support your entire body weight. Take your right arm over to the left. Drop the right arm. Take your left arm over to the right. One more each side. So if you do struggle with fallen arches, maybe reach out and we can talk through a few different options and some things that you can do to help them out. All right, reach your hands way out in front. Again, spread wide through the fingertips. Push into your thumb and first finger and then suction cup your palms. So you're really kind of digging into the middle knuckle on each hand. Drive your hips up and back. Grab your belly button in, slide the shoulder blades down. So your downward facing dog hopefully can eventually become a type of resting pose, but at the same time, you're still active in this pose, so not passive. Feel your shoulder blades drive down the back, the belly tuck in tight, and hopefully the back is nice and flat. And then just bring your shoulders up over your fingertips, elbows tuck in tight, tailbone tucks under. We'll hold a plank just for a little bit. Take left ear to left shoulder, right ear to right shoulder. Tuck your chin, look it up, tuck, and then rotate a little bit more. Okay, level off your head, elbows tuck in, so you're finding torque in those arms. They point back toward your toes. Feel your hips lift. Push into the hands, feel your upper back dome a little bit, and then double check that you're grabbing lots of flex, grab, core. Keep your breathing nice and deep. Push your hips up and back into your downward facing dog, and then walk your feet in towards your hands. Nice and wide outside those hands. See if you can get straight legs. If you can't, don't worry about it. Just let the body weight of your upper body pull you forward. You can also bend your knees to get connection to the ground with your hands. Take both hands to your left ankle, then both hands to the right. And then we're going to go ahead and lie on down. Actually, you're going to squat. lower onto your booty, and then we're going to go into a boat. So bring your legs up so your shins are parallel to the ground. You're going to round just a bit in your upper back to get that tuck of the belly in, and then you're going to reach your arms toward your toes. Contract and hold here. You can stay here or slowly lower. 10, 9, get your low back into the ground. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, come back up to boat. Hold boat, or we're going to head back down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold, push that low back down, and then come back to boat. Plant your feet, and then lower back slowly. Drive up into your glute bridge. So push your hips nice and high. Make sure your feet are just outside, maybe hip width, and your heels are right underneath your knees. Go ahead and shimmy your shoulder blades down underneath your back. So this will give you a little bit more lift, but make sure you're not putting pressure on the low back. So take your pelvis, find that neutral position. So you flex deeper into your glutes. Grab your heels and pull back toward your shoulders. If you can, interlace your hands behind and underneath on the ground. And then we're just going to hold. So focus on your breath. Try to breathe in and out through your nose. However, even with this, I hold loosely. I do know a lot of yoga is breathing. But one of the things I also love about yoga is that it's your own personal practice. So if it feels a little bit better to breathe in and out through your mouth a couple times, go for it. Especially Kelly style yoga. It's not super rigid. Push into the heels and then pull the heels back toward your shoulders. Build that traction. Release your hands from underneath. Widen out and then slowly drop your hips. Push your low back into the ground. And then we're going to come back up to that boat. Shins parallel to the ground. Grab tight through that core. Round through the back just a little bit. Hold here. All right, extend out if you'd like to your hollow hold. Push the low back into the ground. Keep that breathing nice and deep. Keep the core nice and solid. And then tuck it in, come back to your boat. Okay, take your feet, crisscross them, tuck them back up underneath your glutes, and then just rock forward so you can push yourself back into your downward facing dog. Heels push down to the ground. See if you can hide your heels behind those toes. Slide the shoulder blades down and feel like you're tucking your armpits up into the shoulders. So we want to try to get your back nice and flat. Grab deep through the core and then slowly push forward. Shoulders over your wrists. If you need to drop onto your knees, feel free to drop onto your knees. You find whatever works for you in each pose. We want to hold the core. We want to grab those elbows and pull them back toward the toes. Push evenly through each fingertip, through each knuckle. Okay, plant your left hand in the middle of the mat, and then you're going to rotate over into a side plank. So if you can, stack your feet, stack your shoulders, stack your hips, Hold here. Keep driving the hips up. Find flexion into that bottom side oblique, that left side. Then you're going to take your right foot and slowly draw it up to your inner thigh. Hold it. If you need to drop it, that's fine. Belly strong. Then you're going to take that right foot and plant it onto the ground inside, right across from your right hand. So square off your hips again. Your right foot's on the ground. Your hips are squared off. And then you're going to go ahead and rotate through that mid-back. Bring your right arm to stack on top of the left. Drop that right hip down. Hold here. Slide the shoulder blade down the back. Open through the chest and create space between your ear and the shoulder. Hold here a little more. Flexion through the thighs. You've got it. Couple more breaths. Flex deep. So you're pulling your heel back toward your toe as the toe pulls back toward the heel. Plant into that left arm. Rotate back onto your left thigh. See if you can bring that right foot back up. Hold. Woo. Plant. Almost made it. It's a practice. Drop the right hand down. Hold your plank. Big spread open fingertips. Tuck your tailbone. Tighten deep. Next exhale, push back to your downward facing dog. Whew. Again, slide those shoulder blades down. Elbows tuck in tight. Grab deep through that core. So feel the belly button draw back and in. If you need to take a little child's pose, take it. Then we're going to come back to our plank. Shoulders over those wrists. Tailbone tucks under. Tighten, flex, tuck, contract. You got it. Feel the front of the abdomen. Push into those hands. Okay, and then plant your right hand, middle of the mat. You're going to rotate onto the outside of your right foot and then open up into your side plank. And then easy does it. If it works for you, you can drop onto that right knee also. Otherwise, pull the left foot in. Hold it. You got it. And then slowly drop the left foot down across from your right hand. All right, level off. Whew. Bring that left arm up. Okay, now this is not a passive stretch. Flex into the thighs. Twist through that mid-back. Pull your left heel back toward your right foot. Slide the shoulder blades down. Check in with the body. Make those slight adjustments that you need. Stack the shoulders. Flex the thighs. Finding isometric contraction. My core is on fire. Okay, twist back onto the edge of that right foot. Bring your left leg back up. If you can, hold it above the thigh. Stack your feet. Rotate down. Find your plank. Shoulders over those wrists. Elbows tucked back. Tuck that tailbone under. Come on. Hold your plank. Drive your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And then walk your hands back to your toes. Give your wrists a second. So put the backs of your hands together. You can rotate up and back with those fingertips. Keep your forward fold. Okay, and then from here, put your big toes together. Your heels just a sliver apart. Drop your booty. Go a little chair. Bring your arms up. Try to get your biceps by the ears. Tuck your tailbone. Sit back on those heels. See if you can lift your toes. And then lift your heels. Stay on your toes. Belly strong. Stand all the way. Stay on your toes. Stay on your toes. And then drop. Arms wide. Hinge over those legs. Walk yourself back out to your down dog. Okay. We're going to hit up a wild thing. We're going to rotate back and forth. So you can kind of decide what works best for you. So from your down dog, what you can do is just lift your right leg nice and high. Grab to that core, bend your right knee, open the hip. So now your right foot is angling down toward your left hip, and then you just rotate onto the edge of the left foot, drop your right foot, and lift. Okay, if getting into that position seems really ridiculous, if you're here, I want you to just hold, slide into that shoulder blade, grab through the oblique, set the core. Otherwise, I'm going to have you come with me, and we're going to hit it up another way. So lie on your left booty cheek. Then put the left foot on the ground, left hand on the ground. Then put your right hand behind, and you lift. And looky there, you're in your wild thing. It's not as crazy when you just push it up from the ground. So put tension, flex into this right leg. You can lift up off the heel. You can keep your foot flat. Flex the left leg. Push up out of your oblique. Okay, and then you can either drop back onto your glute, your hip, or take your right hand, rotate around, and come back to your downward facing dog. Okay, take your down dog. If you need a quick child's pose, feel free. Remember, keep those big wide hands. Push into the thumb and first finger. Lift your left leg nice and high. Bend your knee. Pull that heel over towards your right hip. Get that hip opening. And then we're going to rotate into your wild thing. So plant onto your right hand. Turn your right foot so it's on the outside of the foot. Drop onto the toe. Or you sit on your right hip and then just push up. Flex, contract. You can rotate your hand, top arm. You can lift straight out. But push those hips forward and flex. You should feel your lat. Suck your armpit in. Flex the thigh. Okay, bring your left hand around. Flip back over. Downward facing dog. Slide those shoulder blades down. And then this time, walk your toes to your hands. Okay, hinge over those legs a second. Put the backs of your hands together. And then rotate your wrists. Have your big toes together, your heels a sliver apart, and then bend into those knees. Sit your booty back. Bring your arms up. Biceps by the head. Thumbs are back. Tuck your tailbone. Core strong. You find your range. Good little chair pose. Sit back on those heels. And then lift up onto the toes. Heels are up. Find that magic position. Belly strong. And then stand. Try to keep on your heels. Flex through those glutes. And then plant your heels. Arms wide. And then we're going to come to standing Tadasana. Okay. A little bit of some balance poses. Get to go through tree. So plant onto your left foot. Keep your knee lined with the toes. Start by putting all your weight on that left side. Then take your right foot. You can plant it right at the ankle, right at the calf, or keeping that knee nice and wide, you can try pulling the foot all the way up into your inner thigh. Once you have it there, flex your inner thigh into the foot. Open that knee back. You can set your hands at your heart to start. Lift the chest. Find your stack, your stance heel, hips, shoulder, flex, foot into thigh, thigh into foot. Maybe you reach your arms all the way up. The advanced pose is apparently closing your eyes. You envision your body, what it looks like, where it is. Close your eyes. I'm enjoying keeping mine open. Reach, flex into that thigh. Slide your shoulder blades down. Think about all that's going on. Find the four corners of your foot. And then bring your knee in front. So you're going to release the foot off the thigh. Bring your knee in front. You can bring your arms down. And then you're going to try for a Shiva squat. So you're going to take your right leg, tuck it behind, squat in and just tuck your knee to the outside of your left calf. Then pull your knee up. We'll go 5. Belly strong. Protect your knee. Push your hips back. 4. 3. 2. You got it. And 1. Extend your legs straight out in front. Tuck it again. And then we're going to kick behind. I think I'm going to hit the wall. So just kick your leg straight back behind. You can keep your arms flexed back with your thighs. I kind of like to do this because then I can tap my hips, try to see if I can get them to level off. Or you can bring your arms out in front. Keep that leg lifted in the back. Flex through the back. Drop your right hip. Keep it going. Belly strong, belly strong. And then slowly come up and plant. Nice job. Come back to the front. Now we'll do that same thing other side. Find the 4 corners. Your right foot, your left foot you can set on the ground halfway on your ankle, on your calf, or up above your knee. Make sure you're not pushing on your knee. Flex inner thigh into that foot, leg that's pushing away from you. Bring your hands to heart. You never know, just balancing would take so much breath. A little bit of heart rate, just a little. Bring your arms all the way up if you'd like. As you extend the arms, envision that you're squeezing, pulling bands away from the walls or you're flexing and pushing into one of those balls, a block, whatever. Tighten deep, tighten deep. Okay, release that left foot, pull the knee up in front, and bring your arms down. Do whatever you'd like with them. We're going to take that left knee and then squat into the right thigh, tapping the outside of the right calf with the left knee, and then come up. 5, 4, 3, check in, notice what you're using everywhere. 2, 1, bring the knee up, extend, pull it back, and then kick behind. Balance on that right leg, find the 4 corners. Hands can go back or flex forward. This is definitely a pose I know I'm not perfect in. I think my hips need to level off a little. Back here. Open that chest, squeeze shoulder blades, level off the hips, tighten through that core, and then slowly come up. Bring your right knee, and then plant. Hands to heart. Deep inhale. Exhale, drop your hands. Okay, we're going to start from the front of the mat and slowly lower all the way back. Drop onto your heels. Hips drop all the way down. And then lower back into your boat. Flex your feet. Shins parallel to the ground. Belly strong. Extend if you'd like into your low boat. Hollow hold. And then swing your arms around. Tuck the knees in. Come up. Plant your feet. And then let's lower slow. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Okay, cross your right ankle on top of the left knee. Let that knee drop out away from you. Hands are wide. Drop your legs to the left. Take a couple deep breaths here. Back to center. Cross to the other side, left ankle on top of the right knee. Lower both legs to the right. Let that left knee drop down away from you. And then bring your legs back to center. Okay, from here you can use the wall. Put your legs straight up a wall, both legs up. It's extremely restorative, super good for your nervous system. Or if you can, join me, bring both legs up, and we're just going to go into a little shoulder stand. I think that's what it's called. Pull your toes back over your face, your head. Tuck the belly. Push your hips up off the ground using your hands. And then see if you can just get your hips right up over your shoulders or as close as possible. Belly strong. Push into your elbows. Connect into the core. Just get the blood flow going a different direction. Chin tucks in. Make sure you don't have pressure on your neck. So that's what we want, those elbows pushing into the ground. Bend your knees down slow so they come back toward your forehead. Just hold here, a tight little ball. And then we're going to slowly lower. Easy does it, down onto the ground. Perfect. Reach your right leg forward onto the ground. Grab your left leg up. Get just a nice little hamstring stretch. Pull the toes back toward your left shoulders. Open through the back of the knee. And then we'll switch to the other side. Pull that right leg back. All right, and then we're gonna flip over, grab a pigeon, and then we'll call it a day. So let's see, let's go into our downward facing dog. To get there, push into the hands, hips rise up into the air. Lift your right leg and then draw your right knee in toward your right wrist. And then bring your ankle up toward the left to whatever position feels good for you. Make sure that you're flexed in through that right foot. And then we're going to try to lower down, keeping the hips parallel. So you're going to pull the front of the left hip down toward the ground. All right, push back onto your hands. Bring that left knee kind of a little bit closer. Push into the hands. Right leg goes back. Find that down dog again. Then bring left knee toward the left wrist. That right ankle across. And then walk your right knee back. Trying to settle those hips onto the ground. Depending on your flexibility. This side is always a little bit tighter. So you want to get the pelvis squared off though. So make sure you're doing that. All right. Close your eyes. Scan the body. Try to find positivity, appreciation. Then also check in where maybe you want a little more. Build strength, build flexibility, increase balance. What was a little bit surprising for you today? Plant into your hands. Push your hips up and back. Again. And then walk your feet outside your hands. You're going to sit into our squat. Back onto your heels. Elbows kind of push into the knees. And then go ahead and take a plop all the way. And we'll get that butterfly stretch. How is this coming along? Pull the chest forward. Maybe your knees aren't on the ground yet, but maybe you are up off of the push from behind. Or if you've been sitting on something to get that lift, maybe your hips on the ground is more doable. So it doesn't have to be all the way to where you think the best flexibility is, but more about just better, getting improvement and progressing. All right, push back up. Take one more forward fold. Bring your arms all the way up. And then hands to the front. Thank you all so much for joining me once again, and I'll see you tomorrow.